The most boring city in the world is Ottawa, Canada. Who would have thought? A Canadian city. Not that surprised. But this video by Eric Struck, however you pronounce his last name, decided to go investigate it and see what's up with it. So let's watch it.
So boring that according to Google, it has earned the title of the most boring city in the entire country. Oh no, so boring. What are we gonna do?
He's gonna say it, but I wonder what the metrics are for the most boring city in Canada. It has to be like voted by people, so I'm assuming they use things like, I think nightlife is a big one, even daytime activity, and I feel like it might sound weird, but like weather probably has to be part of it, because if it just has bad weather all the time, I can imagine most people won't even want to do stuff anyways.
So today I'm gonna show you how I explored the most dangerous part of this city, what the locals are like, and how I was almost arrested because I decided to film in one of the most secure buildings in the entire country. But before we get to that, I had to travel over 300 miles on Canada's worst rated train just to answer one question. Is Ottawa really the most boring city in Canada?
Alright, so we have officially arrived in the most boring city in
I'm just gonna say this, I'm assuming this dude is Canadian because he looks like a nice person.
all of Canada. And it is absolutely freezing at -10. Now I'll be honest, with these videos I usually have some sort of plan, but when I was doing research and figuring out what to do, there was literally nothing. For example, some of the top results was go to the beach, go to the mall, and other basic things. So
I mean, that's not that crazy. I don't know how other Canadian cities are, but those are pretty basic things.
I think the plan right now is we're gonna go head downtown and ask some locals what the best things are to actually do. But the only problem is I have no idea how I'm supposed to get there.
And as soon as I got outside looking for a taxi, I noticed the transit station just off to the side.
Alright, so apparently this local transit is supposed to take me all the way downtown, but the only problem is I have no idea how it works. So hopefully this gets us downtown, otherwise we're gonna be pretty lost. Please have money on it, please have money on it. Oh, let's go. Alright, we don't want east and we definitely want downtown.
You know what's crazy? I'm sure he said that the metro system, at least this one, was pretty bad, but I'm willing to bet it's probably better, aside from New York, than any other American city metro.
So it looks like we are here,
Or just like public transit.
and we need to somehow get all the way down in this area over there.
I'll be honest, I really had no idea what the plan was gonna be, so I decided to take the train down to the University of Ottawa because apparently this was one of the busier areas of the city.
Alright, so I decided to get off at the University of Ottawa because this is the only place I kind of am familiar with, and I'm hoping there's going to be other people my age here that I could ask what to do.
But it turns out that even though it was a weekday, this place was an absolute ghost town. Everywhere I looked, there wasn't a person in sight, and I had no idea where
I was gonna say, it looks like he's going there during wintertime, but it is Canada, so this literally could be the middle of the year where students should be walking around.
was going.
So I've come to the conclusion I am probably lost because there is nobody around me. So wish me
Oh my, it's like dead empty. What the hell?
luck because this isn't going well whatsoever. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? What is there to do in Ottawa?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, not much.
Okay, thank you. People are just so nice around here, eh? Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
What is there to do in Ottawa?
Literally nothing other than freeze.
That's it?
Go to the mall.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
I thought all Canadians sounded French.
This isn't going well.
What's there to do here?
Is there anything?
Ottawa is supposed to be one of the biggest cities in Canada, but it's boring stuff. There's stuff to do, but we just don't know.
It's hard to find.
Yeah, it's hard to find. The clubs are pretty good too. What else?
Parliament building, should I go check that out?
I guess, yeah. Parliament building. I think that's it. To be honest.
Okay, thank you, have a good one.
No problem.
Cheers. Well, I guess even the locals realize this place is boring.
But despite what the locals told me, I was determined to prove that the city was at least slightly interesting.
So the mall that people kept talking about is this one right here, but we're not gonna do that yet. I think the first thing that we're gonna do is head to the Parliament buildings, because maybe that'll be interesting. And then if all else fails, we'll go check out this mall. I am not convinced Ottawa is this boring.
So after leaving the university, I made my way through the downtown and headed toward the Parliament buildings because apparently this
To be fair to the city, I don't think the college town really is gonna have much to do anyways.
place isn't supposed to be boring.
All right, so to the average person, you might not find this cool, but that is the Senate of Canada. For all you Americans out there, that is pretty much our equivalent to your Senate. And then this is the Parliament building, which is pretty much the...
What is this? What am I looking at? I don't know what, I can't even describe what this is. What is this?
Canadian equivalent to the White House. And a super interesting fact is that this entire road used to be completely open. As far as I know, it is now closed from here all the way to the lights at the very end. And the reason why it's now closed is because during COVID, there was something called the Freedom Convoy, which is when a bunch of protesters gathered right here to protest the COVID lockdown. And then our leader, Justin Trudeau, got scared, banned everyone from this area. The COVID Freedom Convoy, which is when a bunch of protests now closed, is because during COVID there was something called the Freedom Convoy, which is when a bunch of protesters
Canadians are so nice that the way they just protest is just by dancing in the middle of the street.
gathered right here to protest the COVID lockdown.
The police don't even care. They're just the police don't even care. They know nothing's gonna happen.
And then our leader, Justin Trudeau, got scared, banned everyone from this area, and closed all the roads. But while I'm here, I realized that you could actually book free tours of this entire place, so that is exactly what I did. Right now, we're currently here, and we have to go all the way over there. Hopefully it's warm inside, because I swear to God, I am getting frostbite right now. There we go. I don't know why I'm terrified to have a camera around here. I just think there's like snipers on top of one of these buildings or something, and I'm not even sure if I'm allowed
I feel like Canadians, instead of using actual guns, they might use like water guns.
to bring a camera or my bag on this tour, so hopefully they don't take this from me. Hi. Is this where you go for the House of Commons tour?
Do you have my tickets already?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great.
Oh, can I come in?
Okay, thank you.
And while I was talking to this lady, she told me
Every building better be heated, by the way, in this cold ass country.
filming wasn't allowed. And after getting through security, I had to come up with a plan.
So I totally got here way too early, and on top of that, they confiscated my tripod for my camera. And coming in, they said I wasn't allowed to film and I can only take photos. But obviously we are still gonna film, but hopefully we don't get arrested.
And the reason why filming isn't allowed is because it is a federal building. But after passing through the first hallway, I noticed the signs which said it is only not allowed during House sessions. So after passing the security cameras and 2 armed guards, it seemed like I was
Okay, 2 armed guards, like they're gonna do something against you.
finally in the clear. The room they brought us into next was the main area where the government has all of its meetings and debates, which was littered with no filming and photo warnings, but after that we were taken downstairs. The next room we were brought into was full of old paintings, and after that we got a closer look into the House of Commons. And I'll be honest, I thought there was going to be way more to this tour, but after passing 2 more armed guards, it turns out that that was all it was.
You know what? I won't lie, that was actually pretty cool. And I'll be honest, I didn't know how serious they were about filming, but I was reading those signs and pretty much every single one of them said, don't film or you'll be charged. And I mean, I don't think I filmed anything bad, but hopefully nothing happens to me.
Now, after leaving the tour, it turned out that a whole blizzard decided to start, and I noticed this
I'm assuming that's very normal over there.
really cool hotel, which turned out to be one of the most haunted in all of Canada. So if you guys want, maybe I'll go investigate it in the future. After that, I headed to the National Gallery of Canada, which ended up being closed, but at least I got to see this very interesting sculpture before noticing the fact I was getting hypothermia. So it's time we check out the mall like the kids told us earlier. I'll be honest, sure, the mall was big and full of expensive stores, but at the end of the day, it was just another mall. But at least there were still a few things more that I had planned today.
If I ever go to Canada, I really want to try poutine.
I'll be honest, the mall isn't actually
I've had like American poutine. It still tastes good. Like it's just, you know, fries, gravy, cheese, but or I guess cheese curd specifically. But I know Canadian poutine just like tastes different. Oh my god.
terrible. I think half the problem is people are just addicted to social media these days and don't know how to have fun. But I do totally feel like a high schooler here because literally that is all I see. But on the plus side, I think I just found something that might actually be super interesting to do.
So after leaving the mall, I made my way there, but I wasn't prepared for what was gonna happen next.
Okay, so before we go to our final destination here, my best friend Lucas is actually from Ottawa, and he told me I needed to go check this food place out. He might be a little bit biased because he's Italian, but he told me this place has some of the best Italian sandwiches in the entire city. Not only am I literally stuck food place out. He might be a little bit biased because he's Italian, but he told me this place has some of the best Italian sandwiches in the entire city. Not only am I literally starving, but my hands are freezing, so hopefully this place is gonna be open.
You tell me most Canadians don't carry around gloves with them or like hand warmers as like a normal everyday day-to-day thing. I just realized jackets have to be like the most, almost like a fashion sense over there. Like you just have to have a good jacket. Like I wonder if Canadians own shorts.
Are you guys still making sandwiches or no? Okay, have a good one. Well, shit. So I guess even though the place was open, unfortunately, I got here just before
I like the vibe of the city though. Like I like snow.
closed, so they weren't making any sandwiches. My luck is literally terrible today. But the one plus side is that even though that place was close, I ended up exactly where I wanted to be because this is the buy one market. Apparently, this is one of the biggest markets in Canada, but unfortunately, yesterday, something really, really bad happened here.
And I wish I was making this up, but apparently there was a completely random shooting here yesterday, and hopefully nothing happens to me today.
I didn't know they allowed guns in Canada.
So obviously I'm slightly concerned, and there are tons of homeless people around here everywhere, but at this point I am starving and I need to get some
Brother, why is the mic covered?
food. All right, let's take a look around here. All right, that's closed, that's closed, that's closed, and pretty much everything else around here is closed. Hi.
What are we making you today?
Can I get a Zeps poutine, please?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, thank you so much. Okay, this thing looks unreal.
Oh my god, it looks so good. I might just go to Canada now, bro. It looks so fucking good. The cheese curds look I cannot. Oh my god.
Because we are right across the border from Quebec, poutine is supposed to be unreal here, and I was reading the reviews, so I am super excited to try this. Cheers.
I know those
I
fries.
can confirm this is a solid 10 out of 10.
And while I
my
was eating,
God.
I decided to search for one final thing to do, and I found out that everyone recommends checking out the Ottawa Art Gallery, so obviously I had to see it for myself.
I'll be honest, this place actually looks so cool.
You know the thing with art galleries, like I've been to one in Spain and I feel like you almost have to start pretending to like art when you actually walk in it, because if you don't even care about it, it's the most boring thing in the world. But if you try to look at it from the point of view like the history of it, then you might like it. But it's very easy to shit on art galleries just for the fact that like you're kind of looking at paintings and then walking away. But I can see both sides to it.
Now where do we go? I guess it's this way. Excuse me, is the entire museum free? You just go wherever then? Oh, okay, thank you.
I'll be honest, when I was younger, I never understood the point of an art gallery, but ever since growing up, I've realized that it's really just a place to enjoy cool things that people have made, and I have to say that I definitely agree with everyone who said to check this place out.
You know, I know that art galleries aren't for everyone, but for some reason for me, I just actually really enjoy them.
I think it's also a thing that comes with age as well. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of younger kids just might not like it, especially if they're not into art in general. But I think the older you get, I think the more you start to enjoy learning about history. I feel like I'm generalizing a lot, but I feel like that's pretty true. Like maybe in this case, they didn't have like too much about the history, but in a lot of art galleries that I've seen, they also talk about the history of each painting or like the painters themselves. And that part is pretty cool if you don't really care about the art.
I think it's super cool and super therapeutic just to look at artwork for once and literally forget about all the social media noise. And I'll be honest, this place is actually pretty cool.
But now one question remains. Is Ottawa really the most boring city in Canada? Well, I'll be honest, as a tourist in the summer, it's probably way more fun than in the freezing cold
Oh, okay. I thought he meant that was the summer.
of the winter. But if you ever want to live in this city, I definitely agree that it is very boring.
Hey, fair enough. I don't really know anything about any other Canadian cities. I know about Ontario and Quebec, and more. I probably just can't think of any more, but I'm sure there are more boring cities than Ottawa. Ottawa's a pretty well-known city as well. That post must have been like in terms of the bigger cities, because there's no way like some tiny fisherman town or even like a town with a population of like a couple thousand, like that can't be voted more boring or less boring than Ottawa. There's just no way. But I also don't know shit about Canada in this city, so who knows? Maybe everyone just hates on Canada and that's just how it is. But yeah, that was a video. I didn't really talk too much. I think I'm still learning how to talk more in reacts, but I might add one or two of these throughout the week, including my main videos, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.